All right, so I have this question here from Yinka, and Yinka is saying, I really want to get your advice and insight on this. How do I know I really love a girl truly and I am not moved based on infatuation or physical appearance? That's a good question. How do you know that you're in love? Because that phrase has been very abused. It's something, it's a word that it's a phrase that people use a lot. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. So how do you know you are really in love and you are not um, infatuated or you're not just attracted to the person physically? First of all, love is not a bus stop. You understand? It's not an end in itself. It's a process. And we must understand that. It's not an end. Love is a process, is a journey. And it's a journey in which the expression of this thing we call love, especially if you're looking at love between a man and a woman. So there are different expressions of love. There's expression of love between friends, guy and guy, between parent and child, that kind of thing. But we're talking about love between a man and a woman. So I would term it for answering this question as romantic love. You understand? But it's way more than that. But I'll call it romantic love. Between a man and a woman, love is a journey. It's a journey. It starts out one way, it ends in a different way. And when I say ends, I don't mean it finishes. It just keeps morphing till your life is over. You understand? So it's love. Love is like an orange seed. An orange seed looks nothing like the final product in terms of how it feels, how it smells, and what the size is. It looks nothing like. If you saw an orange seed and they showed you the final product of an orange, the discrepancy is so much. You understand? And that's exactly how love is. So, you said something about physical appearance, and I will get there because that is a part of love, and I don't want us to have this mentality that being physically attracted to someone is something that can be disregarded. I do not think so. I think it's a very integral part of love. Very integral. It's an early part. It's one of the early stages of love, but then very integral. And a lot of times we disregard it or we downplay it, especially in the spiritual circles. You understand? We disregard the importance of it, but it's absolutely important. It's a pillar. It's not just a furnishing. It's a pillar that, if taken out, could collapse the whole structure. So love is a process, is a journey. It has two parts and 4 phases. 2 parts and 4 phases. So the 2 parts of love is there's the affection part of love. There's the affection part of love, and then there is the commitment part of love. So there's affection and there is commitment. And there are 4 phases. So I'll go through the first phase. And let's assume I'm talking about love. I'm talking from the guy's perspective now. So it is a guy, he meets a girl. He wants to be sure whether he's in love with her. Now there's the first phase, which is he's attracted to her strength. He sees her strength and he wants her based on her strength. It most times starts that way, and I feel it should start that way. It should. You understand? Relationships start that way, is strength. The same thing, if it's even a platonic relationship, start that way. Romantic relationship starts that way. So you must see a strength that attracts you. So you see her strength and you want her based on her strength. And this strength can be the way she thinks, the way she talks, the way she looks, the way she smells. You understand? Those things are very important. So there's something that is a strength to you. And this strength might not be a strength to other people, but to you it's a strength. You understand? Her complexion is a strength to you. You just feel like, oh, she has wonderful complexion. She has great skin. She's very intelligent. She's very beautiful. That kind of thing. She has great teeth. It could be anything. a strength that attracts you. You understand? And that's what a lot of people might call infatuation. I don't think that's infatuation. I think it's the early stage of love, of what could be love. You understand? So that's the first stage, and is an affectionate type of love. You understand? Where you are attracted, there's affection. You understand? There's an affection there, and then if he gives it some time, he begins to know this girl. It starts with a friendship. At this point, it's a friendship. You begin to know each other, talk, and then he gets to the second phase of that journey, where he begins to, she begins to see his strength, and she wants him for his strength. So now it's now mutual. So you guys are now mutually aligned in terms of affection. You stay her strength, you like it, you go to her, you start talking, and then she begins to see your strength and she begins to like you. You understand? So you look forward to seeing each other, to talking with each other, to experiencing more of those strengths that you see. That's the affectionate stage. And then you move to the phase of the commitment phase of love, or stage, or the commitment part of love. And this is where you go to the third phase, where you will begin to see things that you do not like. So you see her weakness. You begin to see her weakness. And whatever stage of relationship this is, it might be in courtship, it might be in marriage. A lot of times it's good to experience this in courtship, to start seeing those weaknesses in courtship. And that's why I believe courtship should not be short. Of course, some people have short courtships that do work out, but I'm not. I just feel court enough to see the weakness. That's why you court, to see those things you don't like. You don't court to see the things you like. You court to see those things you don't like and those things you are not really comfortable with. So you begin to see things that you're not really comfortable with, and then you begin to ask yourself, do you still want her even with those things? If it is love, you understand, you see those things and you still want. You understand? You might be uncomfortable with those things, but then you still want her in spite of her weaknesses. This is commitment. This is like, I know she has this thing, but then I still want to be with her. It's not about affection, because you're not affectionate about the things you don't like. You are taking them in spite of. So that's a commitment. When you're committed, it means, man, I don't like this thing, but I'm signed on. You understand? So you get to that stage. The final phase for most people is you begin to realize that you yourself are not a perfect person, and she sees it. You understand, because we always look at our faults last, and this is the final stage. You realize that she sees your weaknesses and your flaws, and she's willing to accept you. Then you realize that she's just as committed to you too. You see, so the two early stages are affectionate. The two later stages are commitment based. And you see, a lot of this last stage happens a lot in marriage, when you just realize, I'm not a perfect person. Your own mistakes are so glaring in your face, and you're like, I don't really know why this woman is still with me, but that she's still with me just strengthens my love for her. And that in itself, when you have all these four stages and these two classes of love, affection and commitment, go through these four stages, this is now called understanding. You guys now have an understanding, and that's called a bond. That forms a bond between you guys. So it's now not really about physical appearance anymore. You don't even see that physical appearance that much. The attraction now becomes that bond. You understand? And that in itself is love. That's when love has grown into, from seed stage to a fully grown sweet orange. You understand? That is love. So for your question, how do you know if you love this person? Number one, you want to know what stage you are in. If all you are seeing right now are the strength, then you are at the early friendship stage. You understand? You are the early friendship stage. And that is okay. But what I will say is, a lot of people commit at the early friendship stage. It's very dangerous, because what happens at the early friend, what you should do with the early friendship stage where you see the physical attraction is go closer, develop a friendship. Develop a friendship, get to know her better, you understand? Get to talk with her more, spend more time, get to see her outside of that controlled environment to an environment that she's more of herself, and get to see who she is and get to see those things that you do not like, and then begin to question whether you still want her. You understand? And then also get to see if she sees your strength. Because it's a terrible relationship if you see her strength and you want her, and she doesn't see your strength and she doesn't want you. No, no, no. You must be with someone that sees your strength too. So she must be attracted to you too, whether physically, they must be physically there too for you. She must be attracted to something that really other people have not seen. Other people might see, but don't see in the capacity that she sees. She must appreciate you too, to the measure that you appreciate her, almost to the measure. You understand? So that's very important to have. It's very, very important. And so when you have all those things aligning, that's when you will realize that you begin to build a friendship. And that friendship becomes the foundation on which you now begin to build commitment. And then you now begin to grow in love. So yeah, you know, infatuation, as people call it, is a phase in love. You understand? It's just not the phase in which you put in all your cards. It's a phase where you now begin to court and be friends and now decide whether you want to be officially committed to a relationship, which could now grow into a marriage. But I really hope that gives some kind of clarity to your question. I think what I just want to add as a footnote that is very important is, having gone through these 4 phases of love, you see her strengths, she sees your strength. You see her weakness, she sees your weakness. You are attracted, and you are committed. She's attracted, she's committed. Very important. But there's one important factor too that should be there, which people don't talk about enough. But I think it's very important. There must also be a tension between the both of you. Very important. And I know a lot of times we spiritually cover up this thing, but there must be a sexual tension between the both of you. There must be. You cannot be in love with someone with whom you have no sexual tension. Very important that you have a sexual tension with whoever you are in love with. And this sexual tension is important because a lot of people get into marriage with people from whom they have no sexual tension. And when there's sexual stress in marriage, it's a very terrible thing. Very terrible. So you must desire this person sexually, but then you must be able to keep that under control. In fact, that is the true test of love, where this sexual tension is not something for which you want to take from the person, but you want to share with the person. You understand? And so this sexual tension cannot be something you want to take and go. That shows that there is no love. You understand? That shows that there is no love. But it's in the controlling of the sexual tension that you have with this person to do it at the right time, which I strongly believe is within a marriage relationship, that your bond grows stronger. You understand? So those things are very important. So a lot of people feel, oh, I'm with this person, I feel, so there must be something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. It's normal, it's natural, it's nature. You understand? It's a sexual tension, but the ability to have it at the right time, within the right conditions, very important. You understand? You must be able to have it within the right condition. So those things are things you must watch out for, because why I mention this sexual tension, because it's very important. It's what defines what we call the romantic relationship from the platonic relationships. So this thing I said about see your strengths, accept your weaknesses. Your parents feel the same way about you. They see your strengths, they accept your weaknesses. Does it mean it's okay for parents to for you to marry your parents or have been in a relationship. No, it's not. You understand? It's that sexual tension that marks the difference between a relationship with the opposite sex and your parents. The same thing with kids. 5-year-old kids, they accept each other's weaknesses, accept each other's strengths. The difference between a 5-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl being friends through thick and bad, they will slap each other today and still be friends and still make mud castles together because they forgive each other, they accept each other. But you see what? They don't have a sexual tension. You see, that's the difference. That sexual tension is very important. You understand? Very important. So you must think, with this person, do I have that too? And for that person, are you willing to work on controlling that and restraining that till you get married to the person?